What's going on, guys? Thanks to those joining me live and to those that will be joining me on archive. Go ahead and let me know what you think on the comment section. You know, let's talk about this restriction or ban, that is, of not just refugees, but just anyone. Okay, a complete ban of anyone from specific countries and not particularly all you know, countries that are supposedly targeting the quote unquote type of people that we're trying to prevent from coming into this country, right? I'm hearing a lot of people are talking about this, and dialogue is a very, very good thing. I unfortunately, just if I'm 100% honest here, I'm finding myself disagreeing so much with, with so many people, right? So number one, when it comes to banning, um, whether it's refugees or just banning uh, not just immigrants here, but this is also banning people with legal visas that got visas legally from coming to this country, right? That's what this is. Now, if you have specific, whatever you want to call it, ideology, beliefs, problems with, or if you're in favor of, when it comes to immigration or immigrants, please understand that this has nothing to do with that. Nothing, right? I mean, it's that this is something that has nothing to do with immigration. It has nothing to do with coming legally or illegally. It has nothing to do with um, how you think immigrants should be treated here or not treated here, or whether you believe immigrants have it too good or not too good, or they got it better than people that are born here, or it has nothing to do with that. That will be a discussion for a different day. Let's talk about what this really is, right? Let's talk about what it really is. Now, let me look something up here really quick. Should have probably done it before I started the video, but so Trump has banned, all right, specific countries from entering, um, from coming to, people from specific countries from coming into this country, right? Now, by no surprise, they're Muslim countries, right? And we shouldn't be surprised because this is exactly what he proposed. Now, is he banning all Muslims? Like, are they asking people at the airport, hey, are you Muslim? No, right? But this is a way to satisfy the thirst, right, of his base who wants to ban all Muslim, right? I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of, Trump supporters are not very intelligent, right? So to them, they hear news that he's putting restrictions on certain countries. To them, it's, you see, I knew Trump was going to ban all the damn Muslims, okay? And that's really what this is. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Now, is it effective? Is it going to do anything? No, but that's not why he's doing it. Look, then why is it that he says he brings up San Bernardino? Why? Why is it that he brings up 9/11? Why? And then you have to ask yourself, why is it that the three countries, right, two of which are Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, why is it? All right, and then I believe Egypt's the other one. Why is it that those countries, citizens of those countries, are not banned from coming to the United States? When it doesn't take a genius to see the connection with Saudi Arabia and 9/11. It doesn't take a genius or much research anyway to find how many quote unquote terrorists come from Saudi Arabia. If you actually know your shit, you know that the Wahhabism, which is the form of the version of Islam that is practiced by groups like ISIS, right? It originates from and is pushed forth by Saudi Arabia, right? They're the ones that fund a lot of money to certain mosques that push that ideology. Saudi Arabia does that, right? Pakistan has been known and proven to harbor terrorists, right? Who this country labels that is as terrorists, right? So keep in mind, I'm using the definition that the Pentagon puts out there and that the press puts out there, right? So that's the term I'm using. Where was, if you believe the government story, where was Osama bin Laden? He was in Pakistan, right? So you're telling me that if that is true, you're telling me that Pakistan, if it's alleged that he was there, are you telling me that Pakistan didn't know that Osama bin Laden was in this big confine with a lot of security? There's no way they knew that. Of course they knew, right? So here's my point, right? All this ban is for Donald Trump to feed the thirst of his ignorant supporters. That's all it is. So his ignorant supporters feel, that he's actually doing what he said he was going to do, right? Now, thankfully, he's not going all the way. He's not actually banning all Muslims, and he's not actually banning people from countries that actually do have the majority of the terrorists, quote unquote. So ask yourself why. I mean, I'm hearing people talking about immigrants, and I got problems with immigrants with this and that, and it has nothing to do with a specific situation. Nothing. By the way, the San Bernardino shooter, who was one mass shooting out of how many in this country? There's a mass shooting every fucking week. But because a Muslim did a mass shooting, I mean, everybody just loses their fucking minds. But he was not from another country. He was from here, right? He was from the United States. He was born here. In fact, most, all right, terrorists in this country were born here. And most of them are not even Muslim, right? Most domestic terrorism is usually a white guy, right-wing terrorism, right? But we don't even need to go there right now, okay? It's just like most cop killers are white men. It's just you don't hear this shit, but those are the facts, right? That's what this is. That's what this ban is. If you look at a lot of these countries, like they don't have a lot of, like we don't really need these countries. They've either been abandoned or, like Syria. Syria does nothing for us other than us, starting chaos over there. We have a big hand in the chaos that's happening in Syria right now. We had a big hand in the chaos going on in Iraq. And in fact, in most of these countries, if I'm telling you, if we just minded our own business and weren't monkeying around over there, right, they'd be better off. But no, like we have to go monkey over there, right? Now, on one hand, somebody say, well, look, that it's a good thing that we have Trump now because under Obama and Bush and Clinton before him and Bush Sr., right? Reagan before him. With them, I mean, they were just monkeying around all over the place. So now with Trump, he's going to focus here in the homeland with us, no, not the immigrants, and just, and so it's twofold what he's doing here, right? Like Trump is actually getting praise by some people that just have an issue with immigrants for this ban when it has nothing to do with immigration. We're talking about individuals who have legal visas who are already on their way to the United States getting arrested at the airport because the day before Donald Trump signed an executive order banning people from said country from coming here. They're not criminals. They didn't break a crime. They're guilty of one thing, being from a country that was banned. There's something fundamentally wrong with that. You can't. Why are they arresting people that aren't committing crimes? Which is becoming a big theme, by the way. Arresting people that haven't even created crimes, okay? Fair enough. But that's what this is, right? It's not going to stop one terrorist attack from happening. Okay, it's not going to make anything safer, right? It's a head scratcher. It's ineffective. It's doing nothing, right? It's banning people coming here that already have visas. You know, it makes no sense, right? It makes absolutely no sense. So are we just gonna ban? Like, you need to understand here that the only reason these countries were banned was because they're Muslim countries. That's the only reason they were banned. That's insane, right? Now I know. Well, how do you know ISIS won't come from? Let me tell you something right now, right? ISIS is a terrorist cell network. Okay, they're networked around the world, right? They have connections around the world. Okay, they've grown, right? Number one, they're not going to disappear under Donald Trump. They're going to get more powerful. Mark my words. Okay, that's number one. Right? That dude is a gold mine for them. Okay, that's a video for another day. If they don't need to go through these links of, hey man, here, come here. Yeah, I know you're a member of ISIS, but I need you to do me a favor, right? I want you to pose as a Syrian refugee, right? Go live in some like camp where you're given food by the UN and just chill for a while, right? We're gonna give you a fake birth certificate and just kind of chill out, and maybe there's a possibility, right, that they're gonna pick you to go to the US, right? And when you go to the US, right, once you're there, you're gonna do a terrorist act, right? Either go buy a gun and just shoot everybody up, or strap yourself up and bomb yourself. Mwahaha. Yes, let's do that. That's stupid, right? These dudes already have dudes in this country. If they want to do something, they'll do it. Right? It's that simple. But they calculate everything they do. Everything is calculated, right? They're waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And then, right? I could be impacted by you. You could be impacted by it. I know it's you're more than likely to die, in a car crash than ISIS killing you. But I know somewhere, somehow, at some point, there's going to be another terrorist attack by Muslim radicals. It's eventually going to happen. There's no stopping it. Banning every Muslim country from coming here isn't going to stop it. It's you have to look at the root of as to why, in the first place, why are we having these problems anyway? It's our involvement over there, right? And if you think that we're going the route of, diplomacy or the route of minding our own business now, you're out of your mind. You have a dude, okay, who sounds like the fucking Joker on TV, who happens to be the fucking president, saying things like, it's an ugly world out there. It's an ugly world, I'm telling you. And they're going to come after us, and we got to do things that aren't so pretty. He's already talking about how we're going to hit ISIS so hard, and He's already talking about how he doesn't have a problem with waterboarding. Okay, Gitmo's going to stay open. They're going to start torturing innocent people. Okay, it's just to do it. You're going to have warlords and in these war zones turning people in, saying, "Hey, he's a member of ISIS. He's not going to be right." They're going to turn him in. We're going to take him to Gitmo. We're going to just torture the shit out of him. And torture, it doesn't work. Why doesn't torture work, right? Because eventually you're just trying to get the answer that you want to hear from somebody. That's it, right? A lie like if you really want to get to the nitty gritty and all that, then a lie detector is far more effective, right? Than torture. Okay, I mean it's this. Nah, but we got to get him to talk. Like look, man. There's been a lot of stories from Gitmo, and you hear about, well, I don't feel sorry about the terrorists that were there getting tortured, right? But you rarely hear about the innocent people that were getting tortured there. You rarely hear about that. And they were given military tribunals, right? And either never got justice for what happened, right? Nobody got only people in the lower ranks got fired. Nobody got prosecuted. These were war crimes. And now we're going to double down this shit. We're going to double it down. And ISIS loves it. They love this shit, right? So you see a thing about religious people, and this is nothing against people that are religious, right? You could believe whatever you want to believe, right? But you need to understand that ISIS doesn't want peace and harmony, and they want they want the world to burn, all right? And if they end up getting tortured or killed or anything like that, to them that's martyring them, right? They look forward to that. They want to embrace that. I keep hearing a lot about that. Now we got to embrace this. We got to embrace, whether it's persecution or murder, or we got to embrace that because there's a bigger cause to all this. God's going to make this all right in the end, and he will reward those that, fight the good fight, right? It's more complex than that, right? But that's the, core of it, for the most part. Dangerous. At that point, logically it's a fallacy, but because it has no logic, that type of thinking. If you think you're going to bomb ISIS into oblivion, it's not going to happen. ISIS is not an army in the middle of the desert waiting to fight us. Okay, what do you think we're going to call up to the middle of the fucking, the desert and shit? Like, I remember Ted Cruz was like, I'm going to keep bombing them and bombing them, and we're going to find out if sand can glow at night. That's how much we're going to bomb them. We need more bombs, right? So let me get this straight. All right? Right now, you could launch, a missile, right? A nuclear warhead, and just wipe Iraq and Syria off the grid. You could wipe. Done. Turn it on to a parking lot. ISIS would still be around, right? That's not going to get rid of ISIS. Okay, we are dealing with different levels here now. This is a network. They're everywhere. They're infiltrating everywhere. Don't forget Al Qaeda. Don't forget the other groups out there. Don't forget our guys, the CIA, right? Who had a hand in a lot of this shit. The Pentagon, look, they know this, right? They know this, right? So all this was done by design, all of it. Before we decided that we're going to start toppling dictators, and just look up how well Iraq, Iran, even Afghanistan, right? A lot of these Muslim countries today, just look it up for yourselves. Look how well they were doing, right? Before the Cold War, right? Just look it up, right? And then the Russians and the United States, we started, getting involved over there, right? The Russians were getting there firsthand. Like they were literally sending their soldiers and shit to Afghanistan, for example. Now, we weren't doing that, okay? But what we did, okay, you had Ronald Reagan invite the Taliban to the White House and compare. I mean, he even praised them. Oh man, these guys remind me of our founding fathers, and a lot of these people they get hard-ons when they talk about the founding fathers, right? So that's that's big praise. We gave them weapons, right? We trained them. The CIA trained them how to be sneaky, right? We had a big hand in that to fight off the Russians. We radicalized them, right? Along with Saudi Arabia, we pushed a certain ideology of Islam, right? A very radical form of it. And we gave them weapons, right? And first to fight the Russians, the Soviet Union at the time, and then to topple dictators that weren't playing ball with us, that they didn't want to trade with us, or they don't want our banks there, or just there's different reasons. And we created this monster that we didn't create it, but we pushed it, right? Along with Saudi Arabia, by the way. And now look at where we are. Just look at where we are right now. The Iran thing, that's a whole other deal. People wonder, like, what gets to me when people are like, well, why do they hate us over there in Iran? I don't know, genius. Because maybe we were giving, right, weapons to Saddam Hussein, and not just any weapons, biological weapons, all right, to attack them. Maybe that's why, man. Let's take a wild guess. How would you feel about a country if we were at war with a country, right? Let's say we were at war with Canada, right? And then Mexico started giving Canada biological weapons to use against us. Okay, you think we would be okay with that? Right? And then they would ask, like, by golly gee, why do they hate us? I just don't. Have you guys seen the movie The Dictator? That saying? They hate us because they ain't us, right? Like, that's not why they hate us, okay? Nah, they hate us because freedom. Like, no, let's stop being stupid, right? Stop being dumb. They hate us because we were trying to topple them, right? We had a hand in that. And we had a hand in giving Saddam Hussein power, and like we had a hand in all that. All those biological weapons he had, right, that he was told he had to, after we gave it to him to use on Iran, then he started using it on his own people. And then we said, it's funny because even in the media, we come out and we're like, hey, we're the USA, we don't believe in biological weapons. I don't even know how this guy got biological weapons, but you got to get rid of them, Saddam. And for 2 decades, all we did was threaten to take over that and get rid of those weapons. Turned out he did get rid of them, all right? But we took over the country anyway. Brilliant, right? And then look at the mess we created now. Now, you don't think, in the CIA and the Pentagon, You don't think they knew that invading Iraq was going to just be a disaster? And you don't think they knew that eventually, if we left Iraq, something was going to spawn out of that? And of course, it turned out to be ISIS. But you don't think they knew that? You don't think they're licking their chops over there? They want these wars, man. Follow the money. Trace the money, right? So if you believe we're not going to get involved in more wars, then answer me this, right? Why are they going to increase military spending? Why is there a freeze on all government jobs except military? Why are they creating more weapons? You think they create them just to create them? Now they got to use them to create more. See, the military-industrial complex is strong, right? So it's wash, rinse, repeat. Bomb them, clean it up, leave. Bomb them, clean it up, leave. Right? It's the same thing. It's our military's version of wash, rinse, repeat. Right? Except maybe clean it up. I don't know about that. I'm not too sure we do that, right? But anyway, I just want to do this video to put some light into this, because while it's good to have discussion, I'm glad people are talking about this. They're not actually talking about what this really is, right? That this isn't stopping immigration. It's not stopping, there's no they haven't slowed down the immigration process. That has nothing to do with immigration, right? Again, this is just for Donald Trump, right? This is him throwing red meat to his supporters. That's all it is, okay? All those people that hate Islam and think Islam's the devil, and then you have Donald Trump coming out just saying random things and things that aren't true. Like, oh, they're just letting the Muslims in, and they don't let the Christians in the country. Oh, the Christians, they're letting the Christians get, beheaded over there, but they don't let the Muslims in. That's not even true. That's stupid, right? But anyway, eventually you'll see, man. They're going to start accepting people that are against refugees, right? I keep hearing that, by the way. I'm against refugees because you never know. What if one of them is ISIS, right? I keep hearing that. But then they say, but let the Christians ones in, though. They're the good ones, right? Well, hasn't it occurred to you that if, right, an ISIS member is going to pose as anything, it would be as a Christian Syrian refugee, right? I mean, isn't that what they would pose as? Are they going to pose and disguise themselves? Huh? Oh, no. It's a trip, man. Anyway, live and let live. I'm out.